I'm just part of a link in a chain of tradition from generation to generation, and from the history of my family to the continuing history of my family and the Jewish people. Just as there were links before me, there are links after me. The teens at the high school are the next links. And if they are not educated about their history, and if they don't have a sense of the history of their family, then the link will be broken. My grandmother was Miriam Mani. My grandfather, Abraham Castel, was the chief rabbi of Portugal. He went to Portugal from Hebron, where my family had been for 14 generations. The Castel family, expelled from Spain in 1492, wandered to Aza in Palestine, and from Aza they went to Jerusalem. Eliyahu Mani, renowned rabbi in Hebron, was a leader of the community, a famous Kabbalist. The Castel family also were famous rabbis. My grandfather was instrumental in settling the thousands of Jews who flocked to Portugal from all over Europe. My grandfather was responsible for resettlement of many, many Jews. And my grandfather stayed, and grandmother stayed in Portugal. They did not leave, they died in Portugal. Takes your breath away, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Often I feel that my family history is very unique because there are so many strong and accomplished personalities. My cousin Moshe Castel, prominent Israeli artist, decided as a young man to depart from family tradition of being scholars and rabbis and follow his passion and became an artist. He has work on the permanent collection of MoMA in the Knesset and in galleries all over the world. I was drawn to find out more about many of these people because I feel they have influenced my life, and I would like them to influence my children's and grandchildren's lives. I think if today's generation had a better understanding of family history, of the travails and suffering and compromises, I think it would have impact on life decisions. Because this isn't about me. This is about Sephardic history. And I want the kids at the school to understand what their genealogy is, that they will be empowered by what they learn about their family history.
שקית אחד מספיק, אבל כל השקית. איפה כתוב לך? שבט.
We have a lot of students here with Eastern European background. They have a lot of information about that background. Very, very few are from the Sephardi world. Mimi inspired the concept to learn about the culture of the Sephardim. So we bring in foods and music and the art.
My grandma's side is from Egypt. My mom's side is from European countries. My grandma's brother, he made a family tree that goes back several generations. It took up several pages. My great-grandfather, my grandma's father, on my dad's side, was actually the chief rabbi of Cairo.
Rav Kook used to say that Judaism needs to be Yain Yashan Bekankan Chadash, old wine in new flasks. So history, the way Mimi's doing it is, it's taking the old wine and putting it in new flasks. I hope the students get infused with the passion to understand their own histories so that they can breathe life from the past into the present.
When Columbus sailed the ocean blue, a lot of Jews got booted out of Spain. And and it was viewed as this horrible thing. In their mind, it was like what the Holocaust was for my generation.
My great-great-grandparents immigrated here from Russia and Europe. That's really all we know, just because there's really no written records of anything that we know of.
I can trace my roots at least as far back to Germany in the 1800s. My mom's side's from Austria and my dad's side's from Germany. They both came over in the late 30s. It's remarkable how much upheaval there was during the Holocaust. They had to leave their whole lives and all of their property and everything behind and start a whole new life in America. Experience that really changed the whole course of the history of my family.
Hitler succeeded in uprooting the Jewish people from their past. No one has roots anymore that are very deep. No one lives in the same place that their great-grandparents lived. In the 21st century, it's been easy to become discouraged from things like the Pew study that was very disheartening. But we know that there are some things that work. Jewish education, especially day school education, is probably the best antidote to the lack of identity and rootedness that the Pew study identified.
הם הגיעו לגבול והגרמנים תפסו את חנה.
I do consider myself a link in a long chain of history. Through all of this hatred that has been thrown our way, we still have continued, and not just continued, but thrived. As a Jew, it's very important to be proud of that. That's just something that not everybody can say that runs through their heritage, and it does for all of us, and it's very important.
I had never had any other experience other than going to temple for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur of knowing anything about my heritage. I would have never even known that there was a Mishnah unless I had come to this school. And it's something that has brought me much closer to my religion. I've been able to learn more about myself through this school and learning about all the different parts of my religion that I would have never known about.
All young people, especially the young people that I interact with, understand that they have responsibility to continue what was started. It's like when the Talmud says, why are you planting a tree that's not going to be here for you to enjoy? He says, well, someone else planted a tree before I got here, so it's my responsibility to plant a tree for someone else to enjoy.
This project of my family history and the genealogical research which the students at the high school are doing, this is all part of a history which hopefully will continue the chain and will be the next link to the next generation and to future generations.